Lam Sedechu. Who's Sedechu? Who's this alias?
So
Who's Lam Nguyen and who's Lam Sedechu? Are they two people or the same person?
good question. Can be two, can be one, can be both. Is it free? I think like for me, I'm a freestyler. Freestyler, but within direction, within intention is important. And Lam Nguyen, born and raised in Da Nang, Vietnam.
Da Nang.
Da Nang.
I had such a great time there. So I think I told you this, but there's a huge amusement park with like a giant Buddha, I think.
Yeah, the golden hand.
The golden hand, and I was standing on the fingers, and and it was close to Hoi An, which is, I think I went there in the fall, which is around the time of the half moon festival, the full moon festival, something like that. Yeah, no, I had a great time. I didn't even drink coffee, and I had so much. What is it? Egg coffee?
Egg coffee and coconut coffee.
Yeah.
From Kong Cafe.
Yeah,
From Kong Cafe. You know the spot. You know the spot.
I love your country.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
So you were born and raised there.
Yeah, born and raised there. Have always been like a kid that just like different. I'm not very really academic. I'm a visual learner. I love music. I love movement. I love dance. I love anything related to artistry, and I think that is Lam Sedechu from, or like was even born. Before hip hop, I just love movement. I love line dance. And like that movement to the drum to the snare is build my foundation in hip hop. Until later when I got exposed to, like music by my parent. My parent used to own a coffee shop in Vietnam, and like they blasting all like the most hip hop recent music, Tupac and Biggie and all that. So like I just move into that, move my body into that, and then exposed to YouTube, where I learned like on the hip hop freestyle and all that. And then be hip hop practitioner for 16 years now.
Wow. So you're a self-educated dancer?
Self-educated from YouTube dancer, if you want to say that.
It's amazing. There was a huge era then when a lot of people are putting their choreo on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, just like, it's interesting because like a lot of choreo, but at the same time, there are a lot of battle. And for the battle, it doesn't get much search or view, and all the YouTube videos like doesn't get a lot of view, but there's audience, and I'm one of those audience. And I was like, the first video that I saw it just debut is kind of like Olympic for street dance, like the world final in Paris, in Arena Stadium, 16,000 people watching 4 people dancing on the stage. Wow. And that's what my dream. And I make my dream come true within 2 years.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's nuts. So how did you do that? You were just dancing every day. Like, how did you build the connections? And like, that's insane.
So I just like really love about it. Just like, and I don't know if I ever make that happen. I just know that I want to make that happen. And so I just practice. I just dance every day, 4 hours, 5 hours a day, 6 days a week, only 1 week break. Only 1 day break a week. And 2 years later, they have the qualifier in Southeast Asia. The first year I make to final, I lost. The second years, I locked in. The whole year just practiced like nonstop, and I won the following years. And I represent Southeast Asia to go to Paris to represent. I dance in front of 16,000 people. You can find my video on YouTube.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, that's crazy.
Long hair.
That is nuts, man. In 2 years, so you just set a vision and you just executed on it, committed to it, focused. That is really impressive. That's really cool.
Thank you, bro.
And you were still based in Vietnam at that time?
Yeah, based Vietnam.
Okay. And then, so what brought you here?
I think like I always, like with all the achievement, with all everything, like all the crazy moves that I practice, but there's something mixing in my chest, in my heart. I feel like there's something that calling me I want to learn more about the culture, because that I feel like that's the last component I need to complete Sedechu as a hip hop freestyle dancer. And I got invited to, because my name is like known far and wide in Southeast Asia. So I was invited to Sacramento for another international competition. After I done that competition, I traveled to New York, to West Coast, to learn the people who I watch on YouTube, to have a conversation with them, to learn the dance from them. And after that, I was like, I decided to stay in the state to continue pursuing my missing piece, which is like the culture. And it's been 10 years of learning the culture, be part of the culture, and even like investing back into the culture, giving back to the culture by doing, like you say what I'm doing right now with RhythmHood, hosting event, education, the support the younger generation to pursuing their dream, to give what younger Lam wish he could have. But yeah.
Man, so just a young boy from Da Nang that decided to commit to dance, made it to a world stage, and then came here to really learn the culture and teach. I mean, that's phenomenal. So when you say, you talk about the culture, like hip hop culture has, I mean, so yeah, what is hip hop culture and who is it for?
So hip hop culture it can be mean a lot of things, because if we just talk about hip hop, right, it's like a different, element in that: dance, rap, music, graffiti, and fashion in that. But if we're talking about dancing, it's like, it's a subculture of hip hop, where, like people interpreting the music, and how the culture is grow from, just like block party movement, it become phenomenal to the world and all that. So I think for me, like hip hop culture is, that part first. And later on, when I learn more about fashion, I learn more about, like the history. I learn more about, like, how people expressing, like their uh, feeling, expressing their story through this platform. That is like the complete picture of hip hop culture to me. Um, yeah, and also, like, beyond just hip hop culture, learning about Black culture is, like support my understanding of, like the why we even have hip hop. And it's beyond just cool things, right? It's a struggle. It's a platform for people, Black people to, like overcome what they have been struggling, in this country and hundreds of years, So yeah, so that hip hop culture to me.
Yeah, and I'm sure you found some similarities being Vietnamese and Vietnam's history, struggling through quite a bit itself. So, but with you, what I'm seeing that I find pretty interesting is, from where you were, from hearing music in your parents' coffee shop, Tupac and stuff like that, to getting the idea through YouTube and coming through here. You kind of mentioned this and hinted at this a couple times. It's just like you felt a calling or like something in your heart. And I'm curious about that because I'm spending a lot more time with creatives, and it's slightly different than spending time with purely tech entrepreneurs where we just it's very logical and rational. This is the market, this is the market size, this is how we're going to penetrate the market, this is our customer segmentation. What is this whole, tell me more about like how you felt like this was a calling, or what is that?
Mm. Good question. I think like that's something special about creative, just artists, right? Like we creating based on our feeling. We utilize the platform, and like whether the feeling could be sad, could be happy, it could be anything that make your heart, make your chest feel like, like you first time feeling about, like with your first love, right? Like, when she kind of like kissed you on your cheek, you are like, oh shoot, like that feeling, that exact feeling, about me feeling created, feeling that calling. I do the dance, I listen to the music, even though I don't understand what they say, because, I have no language, no English at all before I move here. All I know is just like they say something and is matched with the beat. The tone, the voice that they say is something, like make you want to feel it. So I think I just base up that feeling, and like I think that is once, and the calling for me is like I want to understand deeper what they say, understand deeper what is that they so emotional they're talking about in the music, and even in the dance, like what even that, because every single dance move is had the story behind that, right? So learning that and still have question about it, and I was like, then I need the answer, like what's the answer for this old question, and where can I find it? I have to come back to, I have to go to the roots, like to like the mecca of hip hop, which is the state, to learn about it. So yeah, that's I think what's calling me to here.
That's dope. And how is it being, today, like when I come to your studio, like it's very diverse. There's so many people, but 10 years ago, I'm not really sure how the scene was. Like, how was it, being an Asian and coming into the hip hop scene, coming into, Black culture? Like, how was your experience, and not knowing any English and coming to America for the first time? Like, how was that?
Good question. I think that's something this is my parents, like, always tell me, Lam, you're so naive, you have nothing but passion, and you just love people, you always trust people. I think like with that, with all of that, I carry with me to the state, to come to the state, I bring it to the dance floor without saying anything. I just move and people feel it. People look at my dance, people know my feeling, and that's helped me connect with the culture even though I speak no English. I have no idea. Even my friend asks me a question, what I say, yes, yes. Uh, yeah, so I think like with that, but like the more I learn the language, the more I, understand people uh, thinking, people, mindset, and what make people creating the platform, what make people expressing themselves through this art form. I think that is like the most beautiful thing I ever experienced, and that's really opened up um, why I, like even have the passion, why even like I feel shameless, like big face to just like experience to learning about this culture. Obviously, like there are different layer about it, but I think being an Asian and growing up in the culture where you respect the elder, where you respect the culture, the thing have built before, and uplift that, preserving that, is helped me, like just navigate throughout this my experience learning about the culture. There obviously, there's some unpleasant experience I got, but also majority is like like a pleasant experience that I received, especially the love from Chicago community. Like they opened their arm, embraced me, hugged me with the full arm of love, and it's inspired me a lot to even like right now after 10 years, been through 2 3 generation of Chicago street dance community. It helped me to inspire me to start doing more stuff to giving back to the community and support like the younger, could be younger lamb, could be young, like any like younger people who doesn't have the opportunity to do what they love. But yeah.
That's really neat. When you're talking about all this, I'm wondering. So how does dance? You kind of hinted at this. How does dance make you feel? Because when I was there, like I went through kind of a cascade of emotions. At first was probably incompetence and frustration. People are stepping at the right, I'm stepping at the left. I'm just big and clumsy. But then once you start hitting it, I felt a lot more confidence and exuberance, and
Pretty good.
the community, like you said, you are. I would agree with your parents. You're extremely warm and welcoming. Like Lam and I were connected by a mutual friend because there's a hypothesis that we'd get along, which we did, but we're messaging each other on Instagram, and I was like, man, this guy's legit. the first time I walked into his studio, he was all about it. He was super welcoming, greeted me like a friend, and I felt very much at home. So I think that community aspect was cool. But how does dance make you feel, and how does teaching it, like, since you said it's very feeling driven for you being an artist?
Yeah, I think like dance or any form require your physical is a journey of learning about yourself, learning about your physical, the flesh that, you know, God gave it to you or like your parent gave it to you. You thought you know everything about it until you start asking it to do certain move, certain rhythm, certain flow, and you were like, oh shoot, I didn't listen to me. What's going on? I thought I know everything. So I think like, dance, it helped me to fighting myself. At first it's physical, like be able to move my arm to the left, move my leg to the right, do the roll, hit the bounce. It's good, like at first, like you frustrated, you couldn't do it. After you do 15 times, 20 times, you can do it. You feel, oh shoot, my body listen to me right now. It's good. That's really good feeling. And once you have on the physical part figure out or get comfortable with, this is when you truly telling yourself to do what you want. And the thing and the tool and the part that connect from the physical part is the soul. And the soul is receive the music from the ear. So now it's the full experience with your body. It's not just the movement anymore. It's about your ear, your soul, your brain, your arm, your legs, everything. So dance to me is like, it's a full experience. I'm super grateful that I know I'm be able to make art. Like it sounded cliche, but like you literally you make art. You literally connected to yourself, to your soul, channeling all of that with music and understand why I'm even doing this thing. And using this to helping people is another amazing thing that, I feel grateful for. So yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but
Yeah, man. I'm also a student of movement, and one of the words that I use to describe myself, which people don't often think about, is artist, actually. So like the martial arts, like the art component of it is, in India at least, it's an integral part of it. Like every ritual, every component of the deities and the structure of the actual dojo that we practice in is methodically, it's ritualized. There's meaning behind everything. Every movement actually has deep stories and mythology and legends behind it, right? So like everything you're channeling something, right? Which is really neat. And with bodybuilding, bodybuilding is one of those sports where it's actually an art form, because you're kind of chiseling. I think it was Michelangelo that said it. He saw the angel in the marble and then he cut him out. Like you have this vision of what you want to be, and you're slowly just, using your body to create that art. So I think dance is super cool that you see it that way, and it makes sense why you're a good teacher. And you're a good teacher
thank you.
and founder at RhythmHood. I'm looking at this merch. I love it. What is RhythmHood?
RhythmHood, I think like is being the definition of RhythmHood has been changing a lot, shifting a lot since I first started it. At first for me is like it's a community, it's a inspiration, it's a place for people to feel belong to. It's the place for people to feel empowered to. Um yeah. And right now, like that's it, the spirit of RhythmHood. And among other things, the platform that RhythmHood used to expressing those spirits is dance. We're hosting dance classes. We're hosting dance program. We host dance event, music event, and like fashion are what we are really into right now. And yeah, now right now like we have our headquarters at 2643 West Chicago, Chicago, Illinois, which is crazy when, whenever I think I just like driving back, oh, we actually born and raised in Chicago, RhythmHood born and raised in Chicago, also on Chicago Street. But yeah, so that's the RhythmHood right now.
Is it 10 years since you started the brand?
I would say like 8 years.
8 years?
8 years, but like
Yeah.
really blooming in the past 5 years.
Yeah. No, you guys are everywhere. Even people that don't know you, when I talk about this, so like they've seen your stuff. So how did you, again, how did you grow to this level where people that you don't know are coming to take classes? You've got hundreds of people attending your classes monthly. And you're, in many ways a one-man show. You're doing the marketing. You have support, obviously. You have instructors there, but you create the structure for all this. Like, how did you, how are you doing this, man?
Yeah, sometimes I have no idea how I did that, to be honest. But I think, um, again, like I mentioned earlier, it's always had to start with passion. Like having that passion is really pushing me to into very uncomfortable spot for me to creating like to know what I need to do, what the business needs to do, what the community need, so that we can creating that. Um, that's it for like how I approach. But I think in the back end, I am very grateful for the experience with Swedia, one of the marketing firm that I got to establish with the other three closest friends. And through that experience, I learned, how to operate in business, how to talk to, like client, how to, like build community, how to, like just even talk to customer, marketing, etc. Even like talk to brand, like build a relationship with brands. So yes, so that from that experience and, constantly learning every day, seeking to, like even even like other successful business people, or like even just artists, to learn about their journey and what I can inspire of, and how can I apply that into RhythmHood, and grow in it every day.
Um, and you definitely had some good experience at Swidia working with some of the biggest, influencers in the world. And I'm looking at RhythmHood, and I just learned this today when I was talking to you. It really is a global brand, right? People in
Yeah.
Korea and Vietnam and
Europe, Germany, Paris, South America, everywhere. Like we are everywhere. Yeah, if you are a big fan of like dance battle, you might have seen our jerseys somewhere, either in the crowd or on the dance floor. But yeah, just very grateful for the support, or like people believing to our brand. And I think that's when I mentioned earlier, is beyond just like a t-shirt, is beyond just like jersey, is beyond just like a dance thing, is like is a movement, is like I believe is a inspiration for many, is not just only like the logo or like the thing itself, but it is a lifestyle.
yeah, definitely. And I see that, and I see that in the way you are welcoming the people in your space. What's next for RhythmHood?
Exciting time for RhythmHood. This is our last year with Snipes. The brand partnership. Um, we haven't had the final word, but we prepare for 2026 will be the years where we want to expand our what we known about is like event, dance program, dance classes. We are the first strict dance focused studio in Chicago in Midwest. They never had one before, and I think this is what I feel proud the most. Strict dance in Chicago never have a home, but we are the first home. So the way that we curating, like we get the best people in the city on different style, strict style, to teach, to curate, to share the knowledge. So we will build upon that, and with this program, we will, like share this program with other communities, so that uh, they can inspire, they can learn from it, they can take away on what we have been built upon, and like build a sustainable system for the community in Chicago to keep doing what they love to do and be able to support themselves. And, like that's the one avenue that we have. And the other avenue is like fashion, which I'm really passionate about. Like we love looking good, swag out, sweater. So we're gonna have like a couple drop, merchandise drop, with really cool design, and the design is honor Chicago. It's about Chicago. It's about the street culture in Chicago. So really highlight that. And um, the last thing would be our event. No, yeah, it will be our event. We have Windy City Throwdown 5. This is the 5th time that we're doing it. And we will bring it back to Navy Pier Lake Stage in the heart of the city. The most beautiful, like the venue ever. I never seen this before. I travel a lot, see a lot of cool venue, but this thing next to the water. In the background, you see like skyline, Chicago skyline. So we're gonna do our event there. We're gonna have people from Paris, people from like Thailand, from like all over the world coming here for the weekend of just pure hip hop, freestyle, music, dance, connection, fashion, all of that. That is like one big event. And yeah, and if you are in town, check out RhythmHood Dance Studio. We're gonna have more program in the studio. But yeah.
Have you chosen a date for the Windy City Throwdown?
August 15, 16, 17.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm definitely trying to make
Yeah.
this the last one. I know.
You don't want to miss this time, man. This time will be big. We'll be big.
And people can find RhythmHood classes at rhythmhood.com.
RhythmHood.com.
And then on social media?
Social media as well.
Okay, it's just RhythmHood?
RhythmHood, just RhythmHood.
Okay.
Or RhythmHood Snipe Studio.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun getting to experience the dance classes there and the dance culture, and it's a very diverse group of people. You guys do all kinds of dance, right? Acrobatic, hip hop, house. What else?
Popping,
Latin dance.
locking,
Yeah.
yeah.
The popping class is great, but the instructor was it popping or locking? It was like he used onomatopoeia, whatever.
T-Buck.
He would just be like, boom.
Yeah.
Bop.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. That is so T.
Lam has seen how bad I am at dancing, but
Nah, you cool. You cool. You moving. You grooving.
I'm grooving for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm following the instructions. So, cool, man. Finishing up, do you have a favorite dance move?
Yes. I think I love the bounce and the rock. It's like the most basic, fundamental, movement, but you can get so creative with it. You can truly just, with that two move, you can dance the whole night, and you can connect with people too.
I'm glad that you said that, because when I was learning, it was difficult, but then I could always come back to the bounce. And there were some classes where you had the exercise was we just do bounce and we walk around like doing different bounce.
Yeah.
I loved that. I was like, I could do this.
Yeah. Imagine in the club, you hate that, walk around.
And then, do you have a favorite artist?
I do. I think like right now, who inspired me the most, probably Pharrell Williams. Just like knowing, he's an underdog, just passion, and like just believing in the art, and then that's gotten him to become, like creative director of Louis Vuitton right now, which is crazy, and like have so many songs that live on, like decades. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating to see a lot of emergence of creative fields with technology and business. So I was at South by Southwest at Austin last year, and Austin has a reputation as kind of a creative, weird city, but then it's also a tech hub. And it's really cool to see fitness alongside startups, alongside creative stuff like dance and music. And I think we're going to continue to see that grow, because I was mentioning this to you earlier as well. There's been a stage in startups where it's very much product focused. And like, this is our product, who's our customers. We need to do customer discovery to find someone that needs this and, iterate and reiterate based on that. What we're seeing now a lot more is kind of what you're doing, which is building a community, building a movement, creating a feeling, and getting like loyal people for that mission or vision. And then, building services around that to continue fostering whatever feeling that you're trying to grow, which I think is pretty dope. Favorite song?
Favorite song? I think like Happy Pharrell Williams, you know, like that is like some people say is like it's the most commercial song, but I think it's just like the spirit of it. It's just, you know, just happy, you know, like I think just again just being able to live, you know, as this on this planet, on this world every day, and you know, just be able to be a good human, to be able to pursue your dream, believe in yourself, have the right people next to you is happy, you know, is happiness. So yeah.